Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Drafting with Eric. This is going to be a very special draft because I have slept very little and drank very much. So I'm going to be sloppy and overconfident. You're welcome in advance. Also, I will be providing you with lots of dead air. But we got some music, including the Traveling Wilburys. Okay, we have cracked an Archon of the Triumvirate. 7-drop that wins games. Which, if you're going to first pick a 7-drop, it should win games. Also in the pack are an Azorius Charm and a Dramatic Rescue. Unfortunately, they're on color with the Archon of the Triumvirate. So, what I'm going to do here is probably just draft the Annihilating Fire and leave the Azorius Clusterfuck downstream of me. Yeah, so let's just do that. I think that's perfectly fine. I mean, the Archon's great, but I don't think it's worth getting cut pack 2 for it. It is, after all, a 7-drop. And our red deck will hope to win before then. Okay, we got a Blood Crypt for some tickets. But I just checked my collection, and I'm decently high on my duels. I think I can go ahead and take the Splatter Thug here over it. Nothing else really impressive in the pack. We got a Rakdos Keyrune is decent. Hussar Patrol is going to go feed that Azorius Clustercluck. And we have a Trader's Instinct. So let's take Thug. And we get Augur Spree and Ultimate Price in the same pack. So, and possibly someone upstream of us is doing the same thing with Rakdos that we are doing with Azorius. Or, yeah. So, ugh. We're just going to take the, Ultimate Price? Okay, hold on. Yeah, I think we want to be able to kill multicolored creatures. Ultimate Price is really nice, especially in that it, one of the few things that deals with pack rats on the play. But we're just going to go ahead and not face pack rats on the play. We got ourselves a Frostburn Weird, which, if we are going Rakdos here, can be a bit color intensive, because we don't have the blue. So it's only half of our color scheme. But there's also a Splatter Thug. My only worry about taking Splatter Thug is that we're starting to get mono 3-drop deck. But, like they say in the Army, fuck it. And here we have some more cards. I'm going to take a drink. And then just take the Chainwalker. Sorry, Gutter Snipe. We got a Jailbreaker here. And, you know, Shred Freak, Bella's Lizard, Batterhorn, all, you know, marginally playable cards. But, I'm going to want to fit the larger body into this deck with Jailbreaker. And hopefully get some gates. Actually, I'm not sure if this is the case. I'm not sure this is what I want. I only have the one black spell. It is... Well, if it is a splash, then we are definitely going to want to get some gates anyway, so... Just take that. The other cards aren't. Fantastic. What do we got here? Bunch of bullshit! Mind Rot, I guess, over... Mizium Skin would be playable if we were to go into Izzet. But, Mind Rot's on our colors now. And, I think between the two cards overall, Mind Rot would be the pick. Yeah. There's an Electromancer here. But, Rogue Passage, Cobble Brute. I am a big fan of Rogue's Passage, as some of you know. So I'm going to do that. And, we wield Dramatic Rescue. Somehow. That concerns me. I think I'm going to have to ignore it and just take the Roustabout, but... Yeah. That's... crazy. We got Roustabout Instinct. I think we could just take Instinct. I like Roustabout. I'm a fan. Actually, yeah, let's just lower our curve. Get as aggro as possible. That came around? Okay. Blizzard! We might end up playing that. Okay, I like this start so far. So, we got an Overgrown Tomb. Another Auger Spree. Guess we just take the Auger Spree. The pack's not all that good, actually. Overgrown Tomb is there. But rather than take the tickets, I'm trying to improve the deck as much as possible and win our tickets in the form of packs. We have Lobsters and we have Giants. Giants is definitely the pick here. But we would do good to get some Lobsters in here. At some point. Hopefully. Rakdos Guildgate would be nice to get in our deck as well. As would Spawn of Rixmatty and even a Slum Reaper, but Cryptborn Horror is too good to pass up. We want to build on the solid foundation of 3 drops that we have. I clicked it. Ash Zealot and Annihilating Fire. Of which Annihilating Fire. Because 3 drop. Ash Zealot's good though. Ash Zealot's solid card. Especially in a deck like this. It's aggressively curved. Although it's not really a curve, it's a line. for a pack. No one has disconnected, so people are just being slow. Okay, well that's cool. We get an explosive impact. Trader's Instinct, I feel, is close to explosive impact, but explosive impact is absolutely a better card. And the high end of the curve needs filling out a bit, which is not a bad problem to have. Find some Blight. Speaking of the high end of the curve, there's a Tenement Crasher. Thirster Coil Weird is, for lack of a better term, bad. Teleportal is the opposite of bad. Teleportal is good. Teleportal may be worth taking just to splash. Although having the Tenement Crasher here makes me think that taking that is right. I think I'm just going to take the Tenement Crasher. Teleportal would be nice. Okay, so we got some lobsters here. Trader's Instinct always comes close and never quite gets there with me. Need lobsters. Okay, there's an ultimate price here. For some reason. We will take it for that same reason. Doesn't make any sense, but okay, it got there this time. Instinct. We do not need a flying lifelinker. Beat you for one, beat you for one. We have Rogue's Passage. We can beat you for more than one. By several. Alright, let's get some trickery in there. Might be the sideboard, but, aww. Why you gotta do this to me? Guildgate versus Spawn of Rixmatty. I really want that Guildgate, though. Dick. These fucking people at this table. I think I'd rather play the Spawn than the Jailbreaker. So that's what we do. Electromancer's still there. So as far as we know, we're not playing blue. We're just straight up black-red, which is fine. Got a lot of cards in here. So let's set to the side the more marginal ones. Speaking of, Jailbreaker's not quite making it right now. Nor is Drainpipe Vermin. Mountain. Who plays that? Wow. Sending multiple Archons to our left. Or are we? Is there even anything pickable here? Over it. I guess we just take Slum Reaper. I like Slum Reaper. I'm thinking about taking the Spawn of Rixmatty over Slum Reaper. Although I think with the 1 ultimate price, 2 Annihilating Fires, 2 Augur Sprees, and even the 1 Explosive Impact, the removal that we have would complement Slum Reaper quite well. Yeah. We could just keep the path clear for our dudes to beat down. Kind of kind of a light pack for us, it feels like, but we have two picks that I very much like. The Rakdos Keyrune and the Sewer Shambler. Keyrune can help us get to our higher drops, which we're kind of light on. So we don't entirely need it as much, I don't feel. If we had, like, a couple of spawns or a couple of Tenement Crashers. It is good on its own, though. And it's a nice place to use your extra mana. Sewer Shambler, I'm always a fan of. The Swamp Walk itself can get there a lot of the time. Especially when you're using stuff like Lobster Criff. But I think we just want the Keyrune here. I guess we get to take our guild gate finally. Okay, so I'm going to take the guild gate. I may have not been talking close enough to the mic before. I'm going to fix that by drunkenly leaning into the mic. Almost tempted to hate out the Void Wielder. It's so good. He's really good against a deck like ours, too. I think we just want the mana fix. Maybe even get our Jailbreaker in there with it. Speaking of, there's another Jailbreaker, but Jailbreaker is no Augur Spree. So we'll take our other Augur Spree. Assassin's Strike versus Volatile Rig. It comes down to this. I think the Assassin's Strike is what our deck wants here. I don't know, the trample's quite good in the Volatile Rig. Just got there. Just barely got there. Hello, lobsters. This is a guild gate. Gorehouse Chainwalker. Okay. Is it an action injunction in here, too? Yeah. Cobble Brute versus, hating out of Stealers, Seekers, or Cancel. Either Cobble Brute. Oh! Spawner Bricks Matty, Deviant Glee. I think Deviant Glee really helps out our deck, and is something that we want at this point more so than Spawner Bricks Matty. Yeah, I feel this could be somewhat controversial, taking the Deviant Glee over Spawner Bricks Matty. There may be people that disagree with this. I think it's absolutely fine. Sewer Shambler to add to our 3 drops. We'll take the Skull Wren for signaling purposes. More Sewer Shambler. Ugh. Maybe sideboard that in. Pour myself some more beer. Because beer is the fuel that keeps me drafting. Mind rot. difficult one to build. So instead, look at this music. I thought I put this on shuffle. No, I didn't. I just put it on repeat. That was the wrong button. Okay. The Kieran's definitely getting in there. Rakdos Charm is definitely not. Augur Sprees 1, 2, and 3 are all getting in there. Spawn and Cryptborn Horror. Blizzard is not. Electrickery can stay on the side. Chainwalkers are important. Lobber Crew, I feel, has to get in there. Splatter Thug definitely does. Annihilating Fire definitely does. Trader's Instinct should. Bloodfray Giant definitely. Those guys. Okay, Roustabouts I'll put in for now. Mind Rots I will not. Sewer Shamblers I will put in for now. Jailbreaker I will not. Slum Reaper I will. Shadow I will not. Assassin Strike goes in for now. We have 27. So, what would a better version of this deck look like? What would it have less of, rather? 4 cards. I think we need the Roustabouts for the 2 drops. I may revisit that. Sewer Shambler. As much as I like it, I think it's not the include here. We have 16 creatures. We want to keep that as high as possible. Keeping in mind that a lot of our non-creature cards are removal. Rakdos Key Rune is an additional creature. I think we take out the Assassin Strike. Our removal is done a lot better early. Deviant Glee I think is absolutely fine here. Huh. I think it is a Sewer Shambler. I think the 2/1 body doesn't do enough. The Scavenge is good. But I don't think the Scavenge in this deck, when you're comparing it to the other cards that we have, is worth playing a 2/1 for 3. Despite its Swamp Walk. It can be boarded in against decks that have swamps. Obviously. So. With the Rakdos Key Rune, it might be worth considering playing just the 16 land. I think it's wrong. At first, but it's worth looking at. Okay, for one thing, the fact that we have a Key Rune, we are going to want to sink our mana into that. The Grim Roustabouts take up some mana, as does Deviant Glee and Rogue's Passage. We don't want to really get slowed down on our mana any more than we have to. So I think we want to go with the 17 for this. So I was right about it being wrong, which makes me feel good, but it was worth thinking about. So what's the cut? Cryptborn Horror a lot of the time doesn't quite get there as a decent card, but when it does, it's really impressive, and when it does, it tends to get there because of your early removal clearing the path, which we do have plenty of. So I think this is actually the perfect deck for Cryptborn Core, especially when we have stuff like Bloodfray Giant to trample in there and just make sure we get our damage in every single turn. Lobber Crew doesn't attack, but it can also make sure that we get our damage in. Unfortunately, we don't get the extra one post Cryptborn Horror, counting towards the Cryptborn Horror's power toughness. So I don't think Cryptborn Horror is a cut. Honestly, it may be one of our Lobber Crews, as much as I love that card. It's so good, though. What else do I take? I don't think it's the Key Rune. Particularly because we have Rogue's Passage. I don't think it's the Key Rune. It's not Reveler, it's not Thug, it's not Augur Speed, it's not Annihilating Fire. It's not Chainwalker, it's not Ultimate Price. It's not Bloodfray Giant, Spawn of Rixmatty, Tenement Crasher, Explosive Impact. What we're left with is one of the Lobster Crews, Grim Roustabout, Slum Reaper, Trader's Instinct. I don't think we can afford to cut the Roustabouts because we need our 2-drops. Bears are perfectly alright. In a deck as aggressive and removal heavy as this, especially with the Deviant Glee being in there. I think it just has to be one of the Lobber Crews. Trader's Instinct is perfect for this deck. Slum Reaper is at its best in a deck like this. And at a 4-2, I think complements the rest of our deck quite well. Especially, we got something like Deviant Glee on it. We've got Rogue's Passage in here. I think we have to cut one of our Lobber Crews, which hurts. If we happen to run up against a deck more aggressive than ours, we can bring it back. But I don't think that's entirely likely. Oh, the sweet smell of success. We've heard this song already. Hit shuffle and it goes back. God damn you, music. So yes, we're playing an extra Mountain. Because of things like Annihilating Fire and especially Bloodfray Giant. We want to get that guy down on turn 4 as many times as we possibly can. We do need to hit our Grim Roustabout, so we can't do the 9-6 that was suggested. But 8-7 leaves us 9 red sources. We're in our last minute, so we'll submit. And we're the last one to submit. Haha! Thank you for waiting, rest of the table. See you around 1.